The Starcraft II Invitational started broadcasting a bit late, but the results were coming in via the BlizzCon site anyway. The following players have been knocked out already: Select, Ice, Red Archon, Kapok, Luffy, and TLO. The following players have yet to lose a set: Genius, Loner, Sen, and Duckload Ra. You can find the full brackets below to see what's happening on day 2 of BlizzCon. The World of Warcraft quests and lore Q&A was pretty interesting. There really were way too many questions to cover in such a short show, so I'll just go over a few of the interesting ones and you can find the full, complete coverage below. Will Thrall and Jaina Proudmoore ever live happily ever after? No, not gonna happen. How is the WoW movie coming along? Pretty good, and they say they're still talking with Sam Raimi to try finalize everything and flesh the entire thing out. There's a new legendary weapon coming in Cataclysm. It's going to be a staff. Blizzard are not quite done with the Caverns of Time yet. Expect more from that soon. Deathwing will kill you 99% of the time he sees you. His name ain't Social Wing. There are over 3,500 new quests in World of Warcraft Cataclysm, and there are many other questions and answers that you can read in the summary below. I gotta say a quick thanks to the guys over at MMO Champion for getting this Q&A session transcribed as quickly as they did. So the Starcraft II editor and custom maps panel. Firstly, they just talked about all the various ways they're trying to improve the editor and make it more user-friendly. They didn't waste any time at all jumping into talks about the new maps that they revealed earlier in the day. They say that when making maps, community feedback, fun, ease of use, and game types are the most important things to look at. Left to Die offers a cooperative take on the Starcraft II Wings of Liberty Outbreak mission, which received a lot of positive feedback from the community. It involves cooperative play, killing zombies, and lots of fun, so that sounds good. In Iron Chef, the player will be able to don the role of a zealot warrior skilled in the arts of cooking and killing. Players will have to fight, sometimes to the death, to collect various components to make succulent and mouth-watering meals. Star Jeweled is an interesting little map based on PopCap's game Bejeweled. There wasn't very much info given on this map, but you can find tons of screenshots to see what it actually looks like below. Blizzard Dota. Probably the biggest announcement of the day for the map makers and all the Dota fans out there. Inspiration was apparently taken from Aeon of Strife in Starcraft 1 and Dota from Warcraft 3. They say that 5v5 is still the standard mode of play and there are currently already 12 heroes in the game. They say they're going to be using big names from other Blizzard games such as Kerrigan and Zeratul from Starcraft and Sylvanas and the Blade Master from Warcraft 3. You can find a lot more information about this map and screenshots below. They're planning on adding motion tracking cursors to the Galaxy editor come patch 1.2. They say that this will allow you to create games with that Diablo feel. You'll be able to click and hold the mouse button in and your character or unit will follow the mouse pointer around. There was also a Q&A with quite a few interesting questions and answers, and you can read that in the summary below. The Starcraft II story Q&A. I watched most of this and I gotta say there was some pretty interesting stuff revealed. Sadly, most of the questions about Heart of the Swarm were shot down almost immediately, but I guess we kinda knew that was coming. They spoke about the new novel Devil's Due from Christie Golden and quite a bit about Tychus Finlay, his backstory and his future. Chris Metzen says he really does want Tychus to stay dead, but this is Starcraft and you never know what'll happen. He might actually come back with tentacles and try kill everyone. Apparently Donnie Vermillion from UNN was originally planned to be a cyborg, but Blizzard scrapped that idea. They say there's a lot going on with a Zerg, but they will never be misunderstood like the Orcs were and then turn out to be good after all. There were lots of other interesting questions for all the lore and story buffs out there, and you can find them all in the summary below. The World of Warcraft live raid was pretty interesting, although I didn't spend very much time watching it. Blizzard took the guild Paragon, put them in front of Orgrimmar, and then proceeded to throw various bosses at them from old and new encounters in World of Warcraft. It was really good to see how fast they could react and how they could think on their feet while these new and pretty beefed up bosses were thrown at them. As I said, I didn't watch very much of that, but it did look really cool and those guys definitely had their hands full. You can read more about that below. The costume, song and dance contest was up next, and as usual it was hosted by Jay Moore. He was his funny self and the jokes just kept on rolling. He even took quite a few interesting little stabs at South and North Korea. As far as I can tell, the winner of the original movie contest was The Rocket of Love. Second place was I Am Forsaken, and third place was A Critical Incident. These announcements were scattered throughout the costume and dance contests. The videos themselves were some of the best machinima I had ever seen, and wow, those guys definitely deserve to be top 3. Hopefully I'll be able to get some links to those videos in the summary below, so keep checking back there. Right before the costume contest, we saw the amazing Demon Hunter model from Diablo 3, and after that, many cool and quirky outfits from the various Blizzard fans around the world. Third place in the costume contest was taken by Ysera, second place by Illidan Stormrage, and first place by an amazing female monk from Diablo 3. I watched all the dance entries and they were pretty funny, but I didn't manage to catch the winner, so if anyone can help me out with that, much appreciated. After that, at 5 AM here in South Africa, I caught the Starcraft II show matches. I can tell you now, this best of 3 series between Boxer and Fruit Dealer was well worth the watch. In the first game on Lost Temple, Boxer managed to contain Fruit Dealer pretty well in the starting period of the game. But, as any good Zerg player should, Fruit Dealer proceeded to expand across the whole map, and in no time at all he had 5 bases up and running. Boxer pulled off quite a few nice drops and quite a few other interesting tricks, but in the end the Zerg macro machine was just way too much for him to handle. Game 2 on Metalopolis started with the players spawning on close ground positions. Boxer blocked Fruit Dealer's expand right off the bat with 2 bunkers and contained the Zerg player in his base. Fruit Dealer responded to that by expanding at the gold minerals between their 2 bases. Slowly but surely, Fruit Dealer managed to wear Boxer down to the GG with some brilliant Baneling drops and, well, just a ton of units. That means Fruit Dealer took this best of 3 show match with a score of 2-0, but both players played incredibly well. Between all these segments, I watched quite a few interesting interviews with Blizzard employees, and I managed to get a bit of information out of them. Will Diablo 3 ever come to consoles? Apparently there's a possibility of that happening. Blizzard is in talks with Sony and Microsoft. Where is the new unannounced MMO? Good question. Apparently it is in development and looking great, but don't hold your breath because you won't hear anything about that this year or even next year. Are there plans for Warcraft 4? Nope, not yet. So that was BlizzCon 2010 Day 1. Check back here tomorrow for the recap of Day 2.